10 Arsenal goalkeeping records that may never be broken. Hello, Gunners. As the new season beckons, I felt it is worth to discuss this topic as records are meant to be broken. But what of records that are insane and just may never be broken? Well, I am sure David Raya is up to the task. And so, I will implore you to bookmark this for safekeep. You just may refer to it just in case any record on the list is about to be broken. One Arsenal goalkeeping record has stood for over a century. Not one man has come close to it in more than 500 goalkeeper appearances since. Seaman didn't just play for Arsenal. Lehman didn't just save the Invincibles. And right now, a goalkeeper at the club is quietly closing in on a record everyone assumed was untouchable. These are the top 10 Arsenal goalkeeping records, counting down to the one that may never fall. Stay until number 1. Number 10, the original sweeper keeper. Everyone credits modern goalkeepers with inventing the sweeper keeper. Neuer, Ederson, Alisson, racing off their line to play out from the back. Arsenal had one doing it 70 years earlier. His name was Jack Kelsey. In the 1950s, while every other goalkeeper in England stood rooted on his line, Kelsey charged off it, intercepting through balls, reading the game like a defender, playing with a confidence nobody expected from a man in gloves. If cameras had followed him the way they follow keepers today, Jack Kelsey might be remembered as the man who invented modern goalkeeping. Number 9, the first goalkeeper ever named Footballer of the Year. 1971. Arsenal are chasing the double, League and FA Cup in the same season. Behind that entire triumph stands Bob Wilson. At the end of that historic year, the Football Writers Association names their Footballer of the Year. In over 60 years of that award existing, no goalkeeper had ever won it. Strikers won it, midfielders won it, goalkeepers watched from behind the glass. Bob Wilson broke that glass. In the exact same season, Arsenal were crowned champions of England. Number 8, the goalkeeper Tottenham threw away. Imagine your fiercest rivals deciding you're finished. In 1977, Tottenham released Pat Jennings, convinced that at 32, his best years were behind him. He walked straight across North London to Arsenal. Instead of fading out, Jennings made over 300 appearances in red and white, became one of the most respected goalkeepers the club has ever had, and was still playing at the top level into his 40s. Tottenham thought his story was over. Arsenal proved it had barely started. Number 7, the biggest myth in Arsenal history. Quick question, who holds the most Premier League clean sheets ever recorded? Most fans answer instantly, Petr Cech. Technically true, but here's what almost nobody realizes. The overwhelming majority of those 202 clean sheets were kept in blue at Chelsea, not in an Arsenal shirt. Cech was excellent during his Arsenal years, but the all-time record fans credit to Arsenal was actually built somewhere else entirely. Number 6, the record that survived 122 years. Picture Highbury, not in 2026, not in 1998, in 1903. No Premier League, no Champions League, barely a car on the street. Arsenal goalkeeper Jimmy Ashcroft does something nobody would match for over a century. 8 consecutive clean sheets. Generation after generation tried. Everyone failed. Until 2025/26, when Arsenal's David Raya finally matches it. A goalkeeper born in the 1990s, standing shoulder to shoulder with a man who played before the First World War. Can Arsenal finally make it 9, or does this one stand forever? If you're an Arsenal fan and none of these have surprised you yet, wait for number 1. But first, smash that like button right now. It's the single biggest thing that gets this video in front of more Gunners. Number 5, the Invincible Wall. Everyone remembers Henry, Vieira, Bergkamp. Almost nobody credits the man behind them. Jens Lehmann. No Lehmann, no Invincibles. Full stop. 2 years later, in Arsenal's run to the 2006 Champions League final, Lehmann did something even more extreme. 10 consecutive clean sheets. 853 minutes without conceding, shutting out Real Madrid, Juventus and Villarreal along the way. The only thing that finally stopped him was a red card in the final itself, the first goalkeeper ever sent off in the Champions League final. He still walked away that season as UEFA's best club goalkeeper. Number 4, the man closest to touching it since. Lehmann's European record has survived for nearly 2 decades, untouched. Nearly 20 years later, one goalkeeper's Champions League form brought him closer to that 853 minutes benchmark than anyone since. David Raya. Not the record, not yet, but close enough that Arsenal fans started asking the question again for the first time in a generation. Number 3, the modern king of the Golden Glove. When Arsenal signed David Raya, the internet exploded. Keep Ramsdale. Arteta has made a mistake. Football has a funny way of humbling doubters. In 2026, Raya won his third consecutive Premier League Golden Glove. Only 3 goalkeepers in Premier League history had ever done that before him: Pepe Reina, Joe Hart, Petr Cech. Now, can Raya make it 4? And he's just one more Golden Glove away from equaling the all-time record outright. Not an Arsenal record, the all-time Premier League record. Number 2, the save that defied physics. Close your eyes. April 2003, FA Cup semi-final. 6 minutes left. Arsenal clinging to a 1-goal lead. The cross comes in. The header is perfect. Even the Sheffield United fans start celebrating. Then, David Seaman, 39 years old, playing the 1000th match of his career, launches himself backward and somehow, impossibly, claws the ball out of the net. Gary Lineker compared it to Gordon Banks' legendary save against Pelé. Seaman himself later called it the greatest moment of his entire career. Without that single flying hand, Arsenal almost certainly never reached that FA Cup final and never lift the trophy that followed. 1 second, 1 save, 1 entire season rewritten. Number 1, the record that may never be broken. 564 appearances, 1 goalkeeper, 1 badge, 13 years. David Seaman. Managers changed, captains changed, stadiums changed, football itself changed. But every single Saturday, one man stood between the posts, calm, reliable, world-class, while entire generations of players became legends and retired around him. Lehmann, Almunia, Szczesny, Cech, Leno, Ramsdale, Raya. Every keeper since has won those gloves. Not one has come close. This isn't just an appearance record. It's loyalty made physical. Could Raya eventually catch him? Maybe, decades from now. But today, David Seaman still stands alone as the greatest servant ever to wear Arsenal's gloves. So here's the real question. Is David Seaman still the greatest Arsenal goalkeeper of all time? Or is David Raya quietly rewriting Arsenal history right in front of us? Comment Seaman or Raya below. I want to see which name actually wins. Subscribe and hit the bell. The Arsenal Archives is only just getting started. Send this to one Arsenal fan who still argues Seaman versus Raya. Because here, we don't just talk about Arsenal, we preserve Arsenal history. See you in the next one.